With another year comes a new bit of Pokemon art drama because apparently we can't go a year without one. For those of you guys that don't know, the new set of Pokemon Pocket is due to be released tomorrow, and the artwork from it has leaked because that's just what always happens. And as you can tell by the presence of me, Editor Phoebe, this story was not just as simple as we thought. The immersive card for Ho-oh has received a little bit of controversy. The artwork itself is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely stunning, but unfortunately, it seems to be traced. Hello everyone, and welcome to Tea with Cup of Tea, where I get the tea bags out and we have a look at some Pokemon art drama, which seems to have happened again. Last time I did this, it was because of AI being used in the Pokemon TCG illustration contest, and this time it's for a less robot-related incident, but still kind of in the art theft realm, so that's fun. But it also kind of isn't art theft, as we'll get onto. So in Pokemon TCG Pocket, every single set there is at least one immersive, and in this case, being that the set is themed after Ho-oh and Lugia, we have a Ho-oh and Lugia Immersive, well, two Ho-oh and Lugia Immersives, and the Ho-oh Immersive was drawn by Sie Nanahara, who you'll recognize from these other gorgeous Pokemon cards, some of which are very, very cool and I want a lot. And as I said, the art hasn't actually officially been released, but it will be by the time this video comes out. Now, when these leaked PNGs started going around on Twitter, there was someone who saw them and was like, that's kind of familiar. And said person is an artist by the name of Lanjuju on Twitter. Again, links will be up there. No, the other side. Whichever side it is. And they were like, I drew this. This is artwork I've already done. And to be fair, there is a post from 2021 where they uploaded a piece of artwork with the Ho-oh in exactly the same post, pretty much bar for bar. The issue that has caused this to be sort of a less cut and dry thing is that this is a case of fan art of a Pokemon being traced by someone under employment of Pokemon. So legally, the fan art can be traced by them because it says so in the small print. Ding! So this is taken from pokemon.com/us/legal/information #something text something, and it states,
distribution in any form and any channels now known or in the future of derivative works based on the copyrighted property trademarks, service marks, trade names, and other proprietary property, fan art, of the Pokemon Company International Inc., its affiliates and licenses, Pokemon, constitutes a royalty-free, non-exclusive, irrevocable, transferable, sub-licensable worldwide license from the fan art's creator to Pokemon to use, transmit, copy, modify, and display its fan art and its derivatives for any purpose. No further consideration or compensation of any kind will be given to any fan art. Fan art creator gives up any claims that the use of the fan art violates any of their rights, including moral rights, privacy rights, proprietary rights, publicity rights, rights to credit for material or ideas, or any other rights, including the right to approve the way such materials is used. In no uncertain terms, does Pokemon's use of fan art constitute a grant to fan art creator to use the Pokemon intellectual property or fan art beyond a personal and non-commercial home use.
So yeah, unfortunately, although it may be a little bit immoral, doing this is fully legal. Like, Pokemon are completely in their right to do this. Sorry. Now, when it comes to tracing, that in itself is a bit of a controversial thing, because when it comes to art, pretty much all art is iterative, right? So when you're creating something, you will be using a mood board in your head or in person or something like, I don't know, do people still use Pinterest? I don't know. Like, in person, or whether it just be like images grabbed from the internet, you will have a picture or a collection of images supplementing the creative process that you will then mash together in your head, and then you'll make your art. That's just kind of how it works. Like, it's kind of impossible, unless it's like super abstract, to make something entirely original from just your head. And especially when you're working for a brand, you will need your artwork to adhere to what the character looks like. For example, I'm someone that works with TCG brands like Alestrals, and when I do cards for them, I need to look at official artwork that they've done and then use that to reference my art to make it as accurate as possible, because I'm representing them. I want their characters to be as accurate as possible. And judging by the statement that came out this morning that we'll go over in a little bit, it looks like this was what happened. Pokemon did give the artist some reference images that contained some illicit substances, and by that I mean this person's fan art. And if I personally had traced other artwork for my TCG stuff, I don't think I would feel very good about it as an artist, but that's like a moral thing. Now, I am a little bit of a hypocrite in that I also have another sort of small business adventure, which is like a little baby thing on the side, where I like to do illustrations on Pokemon energy cards, which is a very small scale thing. It's under my own name. It is not for commercial reproduction. It's just a one-off drawing given to people that I will take commissions of. So often my friends will go like, hey, can I get a commission of the box art Groudon from Pokemon Ruby? And I'll be like, bet, I got you. And I'll do that. But that is a very different situation to tracing and then putting that onto a mass-produced TCG card. All of this to say, it's quite a morally grey topic. Regarding who it is to blame, I guess, for the controversy, whichever branch of Creatures Inc. it is that was overlooking the TCG should be providing their artists with legitimate materials to create their artwork with so that they don't have to trace stuff, and they should also probably have better safeguarding to prevent this sort of thing. The fact that this is looking like it is traced fan art, like of course something like this would slip through the cracks, and besides the point, due to the legalities of all of it, it doesn't really matter. They can do what they want. Was this whole situation a case of bad manners? Yes. Was this whole situation a case of illegality? No. And this sort of thing doesn't just happen within Pokemon. Like, there is precedent of this kind of thing happening before. For an example of this where there was a sort of good outcome, I guess, when Five Nights at Freddy's VR released, they had promotional images, posters of the game that contained renders of characters that were essentially traced over fan renders. And that was done by Steelwall, the creators of the game. And Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, put out a public statement shortly thereafter, once everyone was sort of talking about it and being like, hey, what's this about? He put out a statement saying that he would look into it internally, that they wouldn't do it again, and that it would be changed. And it was changed, and it hasn't happened again. So fan art of intellectual IP characters being used in official merchandise by the owner of the characters has led to it being changed in the past. And there was also another situation fairly recently involving another gigantic media corporation, one of the more sort of questionable morally companies, Disney. There were a bunch of TikToks going around made by this dude who had taken one of the tikis from the tiki room and turned that into a 3D model that he made on his YouTube, and then he distributed the 3D model of this little 3D tiki dude that then showed up suspiciously shortly thereafter at the Disney parks, being sold for, what was it, $125. Disney never addressed it, despite the size of the TikToks, and the person who made the original sculpture never sued, because Disney is known to be somewhat litigious. And I don't think anything other than that really came from it. But again, this is a case of the company using their fan art to make their own product, and then nothing happening because the company owns the product, so they have the right to use it. So it could go either way. But let's be real, it's probably going to go the Disney way rather than the FNAF way. And I was proven wrong almost immediately. Love that for me. And this is where we get to today's update, where I was woken up rudely by Toby at 8:15 in the morning. Bear in mind my alarm was not set to go off for another hour. And he was like, hey, Phoebe, you know that story that you were covering? There's a conclusion. What? I did not ever think this would happen, but looking at this post on Cerebi, Pokemon TCG Pocket is to replace the Ho-oh and Lugia EX immersive card artworks for Wisdom of Sea and Sky. Following an issue with the artwork, placeholders are being added until then.
Oh, what happened to my boy Ho-oh, man? Where is he at? Like, bro, he's literally nowhere to be seen, bro. What?
So they're replacing the art. That is actually crazy, and I have so much respect for Pokemon for doing this, because this is the 2 flagship cards from this entire set, and they've noticed the injustice and they've actually decided to fix it. I'm genuinely shocked. This is incredible.
Statement says, notice regarding new illustrations. Thank you for your continued support and passion for Pokemon trading card game Pocket. We want to share an important update regarding the upcoming expansion, Wisdom of Sea and Sky. It has come to our attention that there was a production issue regarding the illustration of Ho-oh featured in the immersive card artwork for Ho-oh EX 3-star and Lugia EX 3-star. After internal review, we discovered that the card production team provided incorrect reference materials as official documents to the illustrator commissioned to create these cards. As a result, both cards have been replaced with a temporary placeholder that the team is actively working to replace with new artwork as soon as it's ready. We are also conducting a broader investigation to ensure no similar issues exist elsewhere in the game. To all of our players who have been looking forward to this expansion and to the talented illustrators who bring the Pokemon world to life, we deeply apologize for any inconvenience this has caused. We take this matter very seriously and are committed to strengthening our quality control processes to prevent this from happening again. Thank you for your understanding, patience, and continued support of Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. We remain dedicated to delivering an experience that you can enjoy.
I was genuinely not expecting this. I mean, as you can tell, I thought I was done recording. This means that when the artist that was commissioned for this card was given the commission, Pokemon would have sent them a pack of resources for them to reference with their artwork. So, for example, probably like the Sugimori art, any official renders, and somewhere in that pack that artist was given was the fan art. So I guess in this situation, Pokemon is actually admitting fault, which is genuinely a very admirable thing for them to have done. And again, completely not what I expected. This is why I guess we wait for the full story to come out before we release our videos and before we make tweets on Twitter and stuff. So now we know. And I guess as a result of this, we now have our first ever banned Pokemon TCG Pocket card. So that's fun. While we're here, just because, you know, might as well. First pack. Ooh. Is it a sign? Is it a sign? That ain't a ho-oh. That ain't a ho-oh, that's a spider. I want the limited edition immersive, come on. Pew. It's not looking great. It's not looking great, is it? Alright game, come on. That's a funny looking Nidoran female, looks very masculine. Come on, give me my immersive, I wanna be part of this. I made a whole video, come on, please. I haven't had immersive in so long. Pew. Pew. Only one? Oh no. Come on, please. I've been real good this year. Lil man! Oh, that's so cute. Not what we're after though. It's very cute. Some things in it. Oh, go away! Go away! Leave me alone. The double! Oh, but they're both not what I'm after. Well, thanks, game. Thank you very much. It is cute, though. Immersive. 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 They were like, I know you're making a video slandering us. We're not gonna give you what you want. You never give me what I want. So I guess we've learned some things. 1, Pokemon does sometimes actually do the right thing. 2, if you are someone that makes fan art online, you gotta be careful and just kind of accept that companies can just steal your art if they want to. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and feel free to tell me any other stories you have about Pokemon fan art gone wrong. Drop a like, drop a subscribe, and keep an eye on the channel. I'm halfway through a video where I go through the Pokemon that I think will definitely be getting a Mega Evolution in the new games, so you don't want to miss it. In the meantime, make sure to support your local artists. Follow them, commission them, buy them a coffee, and just try not to let the big corporations get you down. See you later.